And welcome to the super fun, awesome, happy time reverb show. My name's Kibble.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome along. I'm Alex. I'm going to check out the X Space today. This is one of the AmpliTube X Gear models from IK Multimedia.
Big thank you to the awesome people at IK Multimedia, Tiia and everyone there for sending this out to us. Yes, it's the X Space. It's their reverb model pedal thing.
If you could hit like and subscribe first, ding the notification bell, like, comment, subscribe, blah blah blah. That'd be really cool.
Yes, that'd be dandy.
And so this is set up today in stereo. We're going into just some amp sims on the UAD platform, just some clean plexi amps.
Yes.
So you can hear both sides.
Yes, and maybe listen to it with headphones on or through good speakers, or do what Alex always says, the two phones.
Yep.
While you're sitting on the toilet.
You got to press play at the same time.
Yeah. Okay, so the X Space. So we did a video on the X Drive, and a lot of the things that we talked about at the start of the X Drive video relate to this as well. So global setups, preset setups, all that stuff. So I'm going to kind of go through it a little bit quicker. If you want more in-depth information about some of that stuff, go and watch the other video. So basically, in a nutshell, you've got these 16, I believe they are. Yes, 16 different reverb algorithms, or I think they call them models. You've got Shimmer, Shimmer 1, Shimmer 2, Hall, Room, Chamber, Church, Plate, Spring, Swell, Gate, Reverse, Early Reflections, Extreme, Ethereal, Bloom, and Magnetic. All right, so that's the different models, right?
Cool.
And then within each of those models, you have all the controls to control the models with.
Does it make sense? I'm with you so far.
Okay, and like with all the X Gear stuff, so what they I think the idea behind it was you have what you would most commonly use parameters are right there.
Yep.
But then you also have this parameter knob. So I should mention, so you've got the preset and model knob. They're both endless encoders, right? So with them, with this you select the different presets, and by pressing that you can save it, rename it, save it. I'm not going to change it, I'll just leave it the way it is, but by pressing it you save it, rename it, do all that sort of stuff. With this one you go through different models, right? So you scroll through the different models, and that's a button as well, which the button basically, it goes back one, right? So it goes to, if you're going into a menu with that button, you kind of go back out of the menu one. The menus you can access via this one, which is also an endless encoder. So these 5 are non-endless encoders. They have an end.
And you can't tell because they have indicator lines.
Indicator lines too.
Yeah.
And they don't necessarily have to be where that is. So they preset by preset, they're sitting in a different spot, right? If that makes sense. You've got this parameter knob here. Now with this, if you scroll through it, these are all the extra parameters each model has that you can access. So there's a shift, for example. This has got a size, a modulation rate, a mode. You've got all these different settings in here, right? Now, that you just push it once, or you twist it, right, to get to those different parameters. So these are parameters that are model by model different, or preset by preset different. So each one of these models will have maybe slightly different. So this has got, for example, gain as well. This model, the whole reverb, also has low decay, medium decay, high decay, so it has different EQ options and all that sort of stuff. So there's different parameters for different models, right? But then also and if you go into these parameters, if you push that goes back. That's what I meant with that back before. But with this, if you hold that button in, you go into what's called preset setup or global setup. The global setup is for example, when you push it again and then you go into it. So you can change the way the display works with name mod. You can hook up external controls, which you will do. You can hook up a dual switch, external switch, like a foot switch, which we will do. You can calibrate your expression pedal. You can change MIDI channels. It has a MIDI out in the back, which you can change to MIDI through. So, if you hook multiple things up together, it's just a MIDI through, so it just passes straight through. Cool. You have a main volume that you can set up there as well. Now, all the X Gear pedals, all 4 of them, the X Bass, X Drive, X Time, and X mod, the modulation one, whatever the modulation one is, the fourth. They are all also audio interfaces. So it has a USB connection in the back, so you can plug it in and use it as an audio interface to record onto your computer with. And you can also, via a USB port, hook it up to your computer to use what they call the XGear Librarian, which is like a file sharing thing, and you can organize your presets in that. You also have cabsim. Now, all 4 XGear pedals as well have built-in cabsim, so you can use them direct. And with this, with the other one that was up there before, the xDrive, cabsim is on a preset by preset basis. With this, it's a global thing. You can have it on, you can have it off, and you have 4 different guitar cabsims and 1 bass cabsim. We have it at the moment off. We might look at that later on, right? You have a thing called spillover. So spillover is basically true bypass or buffered. So if you have a massive reverb and you turn it off, it just instantly turns off. Yep. Or if you have spillover on, it just continues. It's that trails, I guess other places call it. You also can work on a USB out and MIDI clock and bypass, and you can do a factory reset and see what firmware version it is, basically. So that's in a global setup. Preset setup basically is to set up, which we'll do later, is to set up an expression pedal to it, and you can learn what you want the heel position and the toe position to be. We'll get into all that later. So I thought, just to start off now, let's look at let's look at the different models and just go through them quickly and just look at every single model.
See what they sound like.
See what they sound like. Do you want to start?
Sure.
I'll move this out of the way.
This is a clean tone.
Oh yeah, okay. So that's Shimmer 1, that's what that's called, right? So the preset is called Glitter, but it's Shimmer 1. There's 2 different shimmers. Mix goes from 100% wet to 100% dry. It shows you the percentage up the top as you use it. So let's go, I don't know, it's quite a nice, big, massive reverb. Let's go 50-50 for now.
Cool.
Let's look at some of the knobs, right? Let's look at modulation. Let's add some modulation to it. So for example, in here you've got a thing called shift. Now shift, it was set to +12, which is the octave up, but you can set it to anything you want between +12 and -12. So you can, if you want to, you can go down an octave. Ooh. So this is another shimmer, goes down an octave.
Bass verb.
Quite you. So that was now set to +9.5.
So 9.5 semitones?
9.5 semitones up, yeah.
Oh, how to make friends in the
so
band.
you can set that wherever you want it to be.
Yep.
You also have size, so at the moment we're 80%, but you can go 150% size if you really want.
That's not a thing.
Now that on the expression pedal would be cool, for example.
That's mad.
We might do that later on.
Yep.
What else do you have in here? So you've got size, you've got a modulation rate, and mode.
Module?
Dual or single mode? Oh, okay, so there's. I think there were 2 notes in the Shimmer. So let's go. This is single, for example. Well, that's Shimmer 1 anyway. Yeah. Let's okay. Actually, what does it say? So Shimmer 1, complex shimmer that offers increasing feedback. The pitch can go from quarter semitone up to an octave by creating many different customizable shifting voicings.
There you go.
Now, if we go to Shimmer 2. Shimmer 2 differs from the first one because there is no build-up in the feedback and 2 different pitch voices can be set in parallel to create custom harmonizations.
Let's try that.
So with this, you have shift 1, so you can say where you want it to go. You have the gain as well, so how loud you want that harmony to be. You can, then you've got shift 2, the second voice, gain 2, again the size, which is set to 100%, modulation rate, mode. You've got all that same sort of stuff.
Cool.
Shimmer, it's another Shimmer.
I like the second one better than the first one.
Okay.
I'm not sure why, but I do.
Okay. Well, next one, hall reverb.
Yeah.
So we're getting simpler now. I know it always says glitter there, but that's just because we're sitting on a glitter reverb. We're looking at a hall reverb at the moment.
Yeah. Modifying a preset, I guess.
Yeah, we're modifying a preset. Okay, so with the other 2, we didn't have any pre-delay. Now we've got pre-delay.
Yeah.
And pre-delay, you can get quite massively huge pre-delay with this.
It's like a flutter thing.
Yeah.
Not a slap, but a flutter.
Well, with this as well, you have, and we have with a lot of these, you have L, M, and H decay. So you can select the low frequencies, high frequencies, mid frequencies of the decay. So you can really customize your.
It's pretty cool. Eh?
It's super in depth. So that's a whole. Let's quickly go through because there's so many. Next one is room. So that's a modulation rate. So you can make it quite fluttery and less fluttery.
It's cool, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's still subtle and musical.
Yeah. Okay, room. That was room. Now, chamber. So chamber, I should mention, okay, so room, oh yeah, we've done a room. Chamber. This model offers typical chamber sounds found in many professional recording studios and provides a highly reflected and bright tail. That's perfect for aggressive reverb tones. Time ranges from 0.6 of a second to 3 seconds, like the whole model, but the chamber has way more character and vibe.
I like using chamber reverbs in recording mixes too, especially for vocals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
It's kind of a throwback sound because all the old recordings out of Los Angeles, particularly,
All the chambers.
they had reverb, an actual room chamber.
It's a nice reverb.
That's cool, hey?
So that's chamber. Next one.
Also think a lot of Van Halen recordings were reverb.
Well, Sunset Sounds. I actually did a video on for the AmpliTube IK Multimedia, the Sunset Sound studio stuff, which you can watch here, which has a lot of the chamber reverbs, and it shows you pictures of the rooms. So I mean, you got to think of it. It's like a room, like a concrete room, basically.
Like a long bathroom.
Like a big. I think it's like an underground car park type thing, but like a room like that, with 2 speakers and a microphone or 2 microphones, and the sound comes out of the speakers and reverberates in the room and then gets picked up by the microphones. That's what these chamber reverbs used to be.
Pretty cool.
Okay, next one is church. Oh, hang on, I've already gone to it.
Probably modeled after a church.
This model has the longest tail in order to reproduce a typical reverb sound found in churches. The reverb time ranges from 3 to 20 seconds.
Cool. Oh, wow, 20s.
Sorry?
That's a big church.
20 seconds. So if we go all the way up to 20 seconds... There you go, 20 seconds. Let's turn it down a little bit, see what it's, to make it a bit shorter. And again, I mean, with all of them, you've got modulation, you've got the color, which makes it darker or brighter. But then you can also go more in depth into the whole thing with low decay, high decay, mid decay.
Let's try some churchy things.
there's a bit of modulation in there, which sounds really lovely.
Movement, yeah.
They're lovely reverbs. It don't get in the way either, because you've got a lot of control over it. So I'm really quite impressed with this. Next one, plate. Now, I'm a massive sucker for plate reverbs.
Love the plate.
I love the plate.
Big. Don't know where that's going.
So this is this can recreate different iconic plate reverbs. The time ranges from 0.5 to 5 seconds.
Okay.
Highly customizable through custom parameters, which let you emulate different types of plates, emphasizing decay of certain frequencies and dampening others. So again, you've got the LDK, MDK, HDK, you've got modulation rate. It's the same controls, basically. Oh, and I should mention also, I forgot to mention before, all of these have the X mode again, which basically maxes everything out. So if you play something and you hold the button in, it maxes all the length of the reverb out, basically.
I've just said it quite short because I've been listening to long reverbs. Let's try a short plate.
Okay.
More pre-delay.
Bit. That's a lot more pre-delay. So that's for every one of them you hold that in, and it maxes it out. But let's try. Hang on, let's do that down and turn the time up. I love a good plate that's like a long, nice plate.
Sure.
Let's just see what that sounds like.
Smooth, isn't it?
Nice. I like plates. I'm a big fan. Okay, next. This is the one that Ryan should really do from 60 Cycle Hum, but it's Spring. Customizable spring reverb model, which emulates the vintage spring modules typically installed on guitar amplifiers.
Pretty cool.
Does it do a drippy thing? Doesn't really do a drippy
Doesn't quite boing.
Doesn't have the boing.
It's a cool tone though.
It sounds. They're all cool reverbs.
Yeah, it's not super surfy.
It's not. No. Well, I'm sure Ryan is going to do a video of this, or will have done a video of this. Check him out for the spring setting. Okay, Swell. Now, this is a Swell processor that can automatically create fantastic fading swell effects, followed by customizable reverb trail, creating dreamy pads and string-like sounds.
Ooh, fancy.
Well, and you can also set the swell sensitivity and the swell depth. So
I see.
the depth is the volume, by default depth is blah, 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 blah. Okay, so if we set it to like how deep it goes from -9 dB, and the sensitivity is, I don't know, let's go a little bit less sensitive.
Always.
That's quite pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you really tweak it to see ambient music you're playing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
All right, next we've got gate. Now, this is a customizable gated reverb that cuts off the reverb trail as desired in order to add textured groove to your playing.
Okay. What should I play?
It's a textured groove.
Oh. Different to a delay because it has a soft attack.
Yeah.
It's not it's just
No. So we've got more time now.
Okay.
That's cool. I mean,
Not sure what it uses, but it's cool.
you can make an effect out of it. Next, reverse. This model is perfect to create reverse delay trails that fade in while you're playing. The reverse envelope can be set to 3 different modes to better fit the part.
Okay. Do you want to play this one?
Do I?
I'll swap you on the iPad.
Okay.
Because I know you've worked with reverbs, reverse reverbs before.
I have?
Yes. Which is the opposite to forward ones.
Yes. I mean, I think that the main thing with all that stuff is it's less about the attack, it's about just playing. And then you've got, hang on, 3 different modes. Where do you set this? Is it here somewhere?
Modes.
Type. Oh yeah, type 1, 2, and 3. Okay, let's.
Oh, types.
Okay. Next.
Cool. So the next one's
Early reflections.
Early reflections. This kind of emulates sort of reflections found in a room or space. It's quite a natural sounding thing.
Ooh, you can go to 200% size on this. I mean, that's a very subtle reverb, but it just adds ambiance.
Like, for example, if you're doing some very natural sounding, maybe like a jazz thing or a roots thing, and you want to record a guitar, which is direct through the interface, to sound like it's in a space with the rest of the band, bit of that. Doesn't sound like a washy reverb.
Yeah.
Just puts it in a space.
Probably uncle. Next one, Extreme. Ah, that sounds like me. There's a siren included.
There's two processors in this one.
Ooh.
One's a plate reverb which gets modulated, and the second one is a vintage phaser to add extreme modulated tails.
That's wild.
I know.
That's cool. I like that.
It's cool having some modulation as well as the...
Some wacky modulation, yeah.
Ethereal's the next algorithm, which is number 14. This is a highly modulated plate that recreates moving airy trails and adds magic to your lines.
That's lovely. That's really pretty modulation in that.
Ethereal. There you go. One more? Two
Sure.
more? Bloom.
Bloomy.
Excuse me.
Bloom-y.
This reverb makes your simple lead parts bloom up and become very rich and noticeable. Swell-like effect. It gives you movement and vibe to your parts.
That's nice. It's got that little bit of pre-delay thing happening. So
Yeah.
That's cool. That's a nice sound.
It's blooming great, mate.
Bloomin' great.
Magnetic now. This is a spatial reverb. Gives you an airy tone accentuated modulation effect, which at low rates creates more of the effect of space floating.
Okay.
Let's try.
That's lovely.
That's the algorithms.
That's all the 10, yeah, there's 16 different models. And then you've got tons of banks. I think you've got 99 banks, and on each of those banks you have 3 spots, right?
Yep.
So 3 times 99, so almost 300, but not quite. And then the thing, one of the other things also, if you don't want to go over your over the presets that are on there, they all repeat about 3 or 4 times. So there's a whole bunch of presets that came with it, and then they just repeat and repeat and repeat. So you won't lose them if you save over them. And like I said before, saving is really simple. You push that button, then you can, change,
Flitter.
make it flitter or committer, and then you push it again, and you save it to wherever you want to save it to. I'm not going to save over stuff, so I'm going back. But quite easy to save. There's also, if you push those 2 buttons down, it's a lockable function, so you can't accidentally save things and accidentally knock things. You have to hold the 2 buttons down.
Cool.
Like I said, every one of those algorithms has the X mode. which just kind of maxes it out.
Yeah.
You can set it to spill over or not spill over, so meaning if you do this, if you go to global setup and you go to spillover and you turn spillover off, it will do this. That's what that means, which to me in a reverb, why?
Well, it does say spill love.
Spill love, yes.
Yeah.
So should we quickly have a look? I mean, I kind of went through that before, but should we quickly have a look at an expression pedal, look up an expression pedal.
Let's do that before we
and get
finish
some interesting sounds happening with that. All right, so I've just plugged an expression pedal in. So now let's kind of hook it up and make it work. So basically what you do is you hold this button in, you go into your global setup, you go to external control, and you want it to be, so you have the options of a TRS expression pedal. So all that means is an expression pedal with a stereo cable, TRS cable, which this is. But you can also select an RTS. I think it's polarity, TRS RTS.
Yep.
You can have just a single foot switch. You can have dual foot switch, and again polarity with these things. So basically, what you can do is, so with a single foot switch and an expression pedal, you can do the same thing. Just with a single foot switch, you push the button, it goes from A to B. With an expression pedal, it gradually blends from A to B.
Yeah, which is fun.
Which is fun. So we want it to be a TRS expression pedal, right? That's what we're going to set it up to. Now we're going to a preset setup, right? And we're going into that. And we want to an external control. We want the external control to be on.
Yep.
Yeah.
With you so far.
So we turn it. Basically, it means again, that is on a preset by preset basis. So what we're doing is we're globally telling it that we're using an expression pedal, but then on a preset by preset basis, we're having that. So some presets you don't have to have it, even though it's connected. It's not going to do anything.
Yep.
Other presets you can set it to do it. So now it's once we go to the so we've got expression control on, and then we go to expression learn, right, or external learn. So now, by clicking on it, learn, right, click on it again, learn A. So what that means is now in the heel position, we can set it to whatever we want to set it to.
Cool.
So let's find a sound that sounds kind of cool, and but that's a more subtle sound, maybe.
Maybe a spring, because room is cool.
Oh, you want a room? Okay, well then we got to get out of it first. So we got to first you got to select what you want. So you want a room.
Well, what do you think?
Let's go for a room. Why not?
Yeah.
Or actually, let's go to the Shimmer and set up that pitch control, because I think that could be kind of fun. So
was that 1 or 2?
I think it was this one. See what it sounds like. So we wanted it to be that at first, right? Okay, so what we've got to do now is we've got to go to now preset setup, external control on learn A, right? Mm-hmm. So we want it to be basically now what we've just done. So let's set it up. So we want a fairly small size,
Yep.
Maybe fairly dark, just a fairly subtle sort of thing. So let's say we want that, yeah?
Dark and moody.
Got to press that now. Now learn B. So that's set in the heel position, basically. Now toe position, we want it to be much more, the mix much up front, that more up front, maybe make it really huge.
Yep.
And then here in the size, we want that to go all the way to 150.
Definitely.
Right, and maybe even
more mod.
Color up a bit, more modulation up, like really make it massive. Okay, press that again, done. So now it should be, in heel position, it should be the subtle reverb. And you can do that with any model, any knobs, anything basically, right? You can assign it to that. If you use a single foot switch, it will basically just do, instead of blending, it'll do this. I'll just quickly, like a really quick thing. So just go A to B really quickly. With this, you can kind of blend it into your liking, right? So that's the external expression control, right? So if you hook it up via the external control input in here. Now, the other thing you can also do is hook up a dual foot switch. So if we now unplug this, and this is just a loopy pedal, kind of basic dual foot switch, right? And again, we're using a TRS cable. TRS cable meaning stereo cable.
Tip ring sleeve.
Tip ring sleeve. And we'll plug it into here. Now, what you've got to do is you go into your parameters. So I guess external control, maybe turn it off in a preset setting. Then you go to the global setting. Now, we want external control to be a dual switch. I think NO is the polarity. And then we go dual switch. And you can select now between bank. So now, by pressing that, it goes through the different banks. And then you select whatever you want to do. Right?
Sweet.
So you can do that. Or the other option is you go back into this and you select dual switch to be preset, and then this goes through presets basically, so you can go up and down through different presets. That's what you can do with the dual switch.
Have you just added, like, turn into 5 buttons control? So
yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So it makes it easier to access. The other thing you can also do is connect things via MIDI. Now, if you want me to do a full video on the whole MIDI side of things, let me know in the comments below. I might do a video with the 2 pedals I've got anyway, and maybe if we get more, like as a all-in-one, because it's quite simple. But you can hook up external MIDI controllers, and then you can go between any of the presets. Pretty much any of the parameters you can change with the expression pedal, you can change via MIDI as well. So the world is your oyster, basically.
Or reverberant oyster.
Reverberant oyster.
That's hard to say.
And that's pretty much it. Should we very quickly have a look at the cabsims?
Yeah, can do.
Cool. All right, so now we've got it plugged in, still direct, but we've got the amp synths turned off on the UAD thing. So then what you can do is you can go into here, again, go into your global setup, scroll to cabsim, and we're currently set to off, but now we can, like, this is what it sounds like if it's off. Probably like 4 the best. Now you got to make sure with this, you got to make sure you have a spillover set to on, because otherwise the cabsim will only be on once you turn a reverb on.
Yes.
But if you have spillover on, the cabsim is on even with the reverb off. So if you run drive pedals and stuff into it, you know, it'll sound funny. And then, I mean, basically, once you do that, you select a cabsim. That is the cabsim globally, and then you turn reverb on and it works.
That's what it does.
And so on and so on. Yep. So you can use that as your last thing in your chain on your pedal board, for example. Have a couple of basic reverbs, but use the cabsim of it to go direct, pretty much.
Very cool.
And I think that's pretty much it.
I think so, hey. Yeah, like I said, please check out the other video of the drive pedal, and there's a little bit more detail with sort of how it all works. And thanks for hanging out. Please comment below. I'm sure there's lots of questions and comments because it's such a big animal to dive into.
It's massive. They do a lot. There'll be more videos with it. So there's going to be a video with it where we look at again, maybe more as a global X gear thing, where we look at it as an interface, because you can use it as an interface. Also the librarian, I'm going to look at that at one stage. So there'll be more videos with it. Maybe some comparison videos with other similar products that are currently on the market.
And if you want to see those, please hit subscribe, ding the bell, and stay tuned for those coming up. About
90% of you people, and I'm looking at you, are not subscribed. Although probably I'm going to say the people that made it this far into the video are probably the few people that are subscribed. But please do subscribe because it does help. It means we have more access to things and we can get more videos out for you guys. So if you like what we do, please subscribe.
Thanks for hanging. Please check out links below to Instagram, Facebook, and our podcast. That'd be fantastic. Thanks for chilling.
Big thank you once again to IK Multimedia for sending this out to us, and check out some more IK Multimedia videos. There'll be some sort of thing coming up here or here now.
Catch ya.